Every day she wakes up. Before her eyes even open, the weight is there. It settles on her chest like a familiar blanket, heavy and suffocating. She gets out of bed. She moves through the motions of the morning. She makes the coffee. She packs the lunches. She answers the emails. She smiles when people look at her, a quick, practiced curve of the lips. But inside, there is a hollow space, a deep, cavernous emptiness. This is not the tiredness that a good night's sleep can fix. This is a soul weariness, a slow and quiet unraveling. It is emotional exhaustion, and its silence is its power. This kind of tired doesn't look like what you'd expect. It can look polished. It can look capable. It can look like she has it all together. On the outside, she is functioning, even thriving. But on the inside, a quiet war is being waged. One of the heaviest burdens is the one no one can see. It is called the mental load. It is the constant, whirring, behind-the-scenes work of running a life, a home, a family. A ticker tape of tasks and reminders. Remembering the dentist appointments. Remembering the parent-teacher conferences. Knowing who needs new shoes. Knowing when the permission slips are due. Planning the meals. Managing the schedules. Anticipating the needs of every single person in her orbit. This work is relentless, and it is unpaid. It is labor without end. Motherhood, a journey of profound love, can also be a source of profound depletion. The pressure to be a perfect mother is a cultural invention, a cruel and impossible standard. She is expected to be endlessly patient. She is expected to be nurturing. She is expected to be engaged, all while juggling a million other responsibilities. There is also a quiet violence called emotional neglect. It happens when her feelings are consistently dismissed, minimized, ignored. From a young age, she may have been told she was too sensitive or too dramatic, and she was taught to be strong, which she interpreted as being silent. She learned that her inner world was an inconvenience to others, so she started holding her feelings by herself, carrying the weight of her own joy, her own sorrow, her own rage. This is heavy, solitary work, and it slowly erodes a person's sense of self-worth. It is the body, mind, and spirit crying out for reprieve, you know. It is the soul's desperate plea to be seen, to be heard, to be held. The exhaustion is not the problem, it is the symptom. The problem is the crushing weight of expectations, the invisible labor, the relentless demand to be everything to everyone. The problem is a world that asks women to pour from an empty cup, and then wonders why they are so tired. Joy feels like a distant memory, a language she no longer speaks. Small tasks feel monumental, like climbing a mountain with no peak. The world keeps telling her to practice self-care, to take a bubble bath, to light a candle. But the exhaustion has seeped so deep into her bones, a hot bath feels like just one more thing she has to do. The world does not notice because she has been taught not to show it. She has been taught that her struggle is a private matter, a personal failing. She has learned to be the calm in everyone else's storm, the steady hand, the reliable one. So she swallows her own feelings, pushing them down into the growing emptiness inside. She believes the lie that her exhaustion is her fault. If she were stronger, better, more organized, she would not feel this way. This shame is the lock on the cage, keeping her isolated in her weariness. This is a human response to carrying too much for too long. It is not a weakness, it is a signal. A signal. You stop trusting your own intuition, that deep inner knowing, that is your birthright. You become a stranger to yourself, disconnected from the very emotions that are meant to guide you, to protect you, to make you feel alive. The numbness that sets in is not peace, it is the absence of self. The world rewards this self-abandonment. A woman who doesn't complain, who doesn't ask for much, who always puts others first, is often called a saint. She is praised for her selflessness. But this selflessness is a slow suicide. It is the systematic dismantling of her own needs, desires, boundaries, in service of everyone else. She becomes a ghost in her own life, a supporting character in a story that should be hers. The applause she receives is for her disappearance, and it does not keep her warm at night. The burnout that follows this erosion is often met with shame. She looks at her life, which may look perfect from the outside, and she feels an immense guilt for her unhappiness. "I should be grateful," she tells herself. This shame is the final trick of a culture that profits from her exhaustion. It keeps her from speaking her truth, from reaching out for help. She loves her children with a ferocity that could move mountains, but she is also touched out, worn out, and burned out. She feels the guilt of wanting just 5 minutes alone, a silence that isn't filled with questions or demands. This paradox, the deep love and the deep exhaustion, can be a lonely place to live. Then there is the stress of relationships. She may feel utterly alone even when she is not. She does the emotional work, the peacemaking, the remembering of anniversaries and feelings. She offers support and receives little in return. Her own emotional needs are pushed to the side, deemed less important than the needs of her partner, her children, her boss. Love, which should be a source of replenishment, can start to feel like another job, another performance. When her heart's work goes unseen and unacknowledged, a slow, painful ache begins to grow. Career demands add another layer to the weight. In the workplace, she often has to work twice as hard to be seen as half as good. She navigates microaggressions, pushes against biases, and carries the pressure to prove her worth every single day. She is the one asked to plan the office party, to take the notes, to mentor the new hire, all on top of her actual job description. This constant push, this need to perform and excel against the odds, drains her energy reserves, leaving nothing left for herself when she finally gets home.